No monkey. Alright, last day of the week again. Let's see. We are in the wrong thing here. Don't we have a test here? This thing. So right now. Uh-oh. It's not what I expected. Where's the UI? What happened? Are we perhaps not looking? Why is the UI not visible? The UI is there. Is the capture going through? Capture goes through. What's the problem? What the? What happened here? Wait, does this not work when I save? Is this the problem? So now it will show, but what if I restart? Hey Phil! Hello, hello! Did you hear about the vote in the EU Parliament today? It was this noon. Oh, now it works. Very, very strange. Also, it was like closed or something was not right. Was the shader's fine? At least the thumbnail is fine. Now it's gone again, because there is no capture. And if I press play, we need to wait a little bit before it actually... Oh, never mind. This time it was faster. Oh, oh well. Problem has been solved, I guess. Now... let's go here first. Remove this. And now we think. What do we want to achieve today? I set some this logic, which means we should add some functionality for this thing to be rotated in a way that is like continuous and not having some issues with ever bigger with a value that just gets bigger and bigger. Bro, you ignored my question. How dare you? But I'm glad for you. Hello, Scene. Tell me about the Euro Parliament. You didn't know? What do you mean? Yeah, no biggie. Yeah, they just passed a law in a very hasty way in the time period where most people went to vacation, so they tried to get this law through, and it is about controlling your chats, and it passed. So in the European Union soon any non-encrypted chats will be analyzed by AI. Isn't that great? And that's just the first law they passed, or at least they passed that something has to happen or something. There's another one on the table where they will be forcing companies to also be able to analyze your encrypted chats. Kinda, yes, I think. But I'm not sure if it was direct or not, because there people from parties go there, but I believe we even vote on the specific person, if I'm not wrong. Of course, they need to be in your country, etc. From your area, maybe even. I'm not sure about the area, but I do remember that I voted for someone. But how are you doing, Scene? Are you enjoying your Thursday? The disk is here. So now we need to add some logic in here where we can trigger some rotations. Not only that, we need actually to dynamically create these, so I need slot positions. Currently we have these guys, but they need to be only created when there is actually an ARPling in the battle group. So maybe we should start with that. Okay, you go here and say scene. And then we can copy paste it 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then slot. What the hell? What just happened? But yes, scene, I'm currently working on the UI. I have this 3D element that only gets rendered by the scene capture. And then I'm putting it onto the scene, the viewport. Now the summoner slot need to have 2, and the front orb links also need 2 positions, but before we do that, let's finish this. Alright. So right now, if you see here, and if I'm out, you cannot see anything except the thumbnails because I plan to delete them all. But there is an invisible disk which you see in this UV space. If I do full screen, you can also see like they are properly in perspective. They are orthogonal, like not in perspective view of the camera. And if I go here and press P, we can actually peek under the formation to be able to see what the enemy has on the other side. The disc will spin, yes, that's what I plan to do today. The colors of course have meaning. Red is fire, green is earth, blue is water, and on the dark side we have lightning, cyan, magenta, crystal, and air for yellow. Fire is offensive magic, lightning is offensive physical attacks, water is support magic, air is harassment mainly, crystal is magic defense, and earth is physical defense. So that's how they will work out. There's also a kind of a rock, paper, scissors mechanic in here. Multiple actually. Like fire is weak against crystal because crystal is very good against fire magic attacks. So this side cannot do much harm against crystal, but crystal can beat them up instead. And depending on what side you are, like in the offensive, in the defensive, or in the support harassment place, you also have class specific benefits. Like the offensive side is resistant against status effects. The water side has a passive healing ability which heals soft damage, and the earth side, what was it again? I'm not sure, but yeah, they have their specific benefits which makes it more into rock, paper, scissors kind of mechanic here. Anyway, first we want to get rid of these so we can actually spawn them. By the way, I'm a great artist, am I not? This guy has seen things. So, air crystal. This is the slot, which is the position we need to change. Where's the earth slot here? Where's the earth fire slot? Are we missing it? And here we are. Be gone, evil bot! Okay, so air crystal, crystal lightning, oh, that's actually neat. We have the earth slot, now I can add the crystal slot on under it. That should work. So let's take fire slot, copy paste, and call this the lightning slot, and then just say minus fire. Where's water? Air slot minus 30, and earth slot here, crystal, and there we go. We should have all the positions now, and slowly we can get rid of these thumbnails. But we need a spawn functionality now. So we have an initialize UI competitor already. Set visibility in scene capture only. I think that shouldn't be here. Or no, it should be here. So we started here right now. So this needs some information here. The abstract is fine. Needs to get from here then. But what do we pipe through? Do we pipe through the whole ARP-Lang information? I mean, we could, but is that advisable? Here's the instance. And I believe the instance would have this thing. Excuse me? There are presets too. Just probably... Excuse me. I got a hiccup. So this goes to the base stuff here. Is it here? Uh-huh. So the icon we can get from the species stuff, the base stat. The name would not come from here. We also need HP and MP. That's fine though. From front entity or get entity base from base ID. Now we will not send in the whole actor, I would say. We could, but maybe that's not the way to do this. Maybe the way to do this is via battle group. What is in a battle group? Battle group has battle entity instances. I'm just realizing that the things I thought about in the design phase with the attack information, etc., they will not fit because we will have a wall slot in front, right? So that can't work. I need to think of something, I guess. If we need it, we will see. Anyway, this is the icon. So we need the species somehow. Let me get another tea. Okay. Could send that or the competitor. I guess the competitor is the way to go here. The info instance. From here we can grab everything. I don't remember where they set into. Ah. The slots. They probably need to be in. Oh. Not only that. Really depends on what formation we are. Front entity orders. What do you mean orders? Oh, okay. That's something we fill afterwards. God, this is so boring. So these single ones are fine. The problem happens with these three. Because we don't have fire or lightning, we have fire lightning. And depending on what formation we are currently, we need to spawn it at the according place. And then, how do we move him? Because I need to keep them somewhere in order to move them around. Also, this should be a map. Okay. these need to be in their own variable. Okay, so competitor, all the entities, we go for each, we create a thumbnail. Position needs to be set later. That's why we add it into this thumbnails map. It needs to be set only from scene capture renderable. Then we need to create a static mesh, which is the thumbnail thumbnail mesh. This thing. Maybe this thing should be on the last part. Right here. Then we create a custom or dynamic material. Here. And then set the material here. At some point we could even put it into a variable so we can change it with status effects, etc. if needed. But for now it's fine. Then we need this. So this goes in front. Goes into here. And this one we don't need. Yeah, we don't need it here. And then it adds it to the thumbnail. So this is the creation of the thumbnails. Everything will be now at 0, 0, 0. When we do this. But this should have the thumbnail with the correct material right now, because the image also gets from here. So this is done. Then we go to the disk itself, which does the thumbnail stuff here. We need to connect these. So we need to get the thumbnails. They are already added. And we have to go for each here now. We already have a for each here. And then we have to set its position. Now the thumbnail will have the same name as this, I believe. Yes. So we can just find from here. If we find it, we can also find it in this thing here, which goes here, which means the position of this thing, relative position, set position and location. Rotation, I don't care. Get relative location. And then we can do this. So that's that. For this part though, it's a little more complicated. We don't care about this. This can minimize. We can again just go with find because we are going here. Just this thing changes. So we could even reroute into this because this already does it. We just need to put this into a local variable. like this. And then we can just do that. Like so. And then after this it needs to go there, so we can say sequence and then just refer to here. Ah, we can't. We just need to do the same thing again. With this one exchanged. So instead of this, get this, and this should do it. And then when it's complete, we need to turn everything to that rotation. I'm not sure where we get the rotation right now. Turn thumbnails to rotation. This is not correct anymore. For each, do this into here. Now this rotation comes from scene capture. Should we just do it from outside? That would work, I guess. Don't need to do it inside. So that would be it. Now we just need to check if we can fill it with a battle group. This is not open, so we need to create our own. Spawn actor? Why can't I spawn an actor? What is this? Excuse me? Save all. Spawn actor of class. Why can't I spawn in the level? What happened? Excuse me? Why is this not what? Spawn? Now it can't find it? Wait, if I write actor... Oh, it's on the top. Oh my god. From class. I said off class, right? That's the problem. Okay. Now I get it. Anyway. Battle. Compared to the group instance. How do you create these? There's an initialize. Can make this. So let's say front is fire, we don't care that much. And then let's add 2 fire lightning and water earth. So we have to spawn these 2 battle info instance. Battle, okay, info. Initialize, I guess. Make slot override. I don't care, I think. I guess both are tomati for now. Anything else I need to add? Probably not. Slot name is important. Fire lightning. Then again. This should do it. Okay, so these are created. Now they can be added here. These need to be finished first. And then they can go in here. So now this thing would have information in. And this can then go and go to this initialize here, right? How do we get the competitor in here though? Because this needs it now. Yeah. 2 times that needs to be in there. Okay. Competitor info 1 and info 2. And then from here they initialize. And then it should work, hopefully. We can just put both like this. And then hopefully this should do something. But I also want to delete stuff. These things, I believe. Let's just delete fire and lightning. This is lightning, right? Yes, so fire goes away and water, earth. Water, earth. So these should now be empty. Let's see. Save all. Play. They are empty. I did not expect this to be there though. There's one that did not get a position, so I would assume this guy did get a position. There are 2 errors here. So it was not able to set relative location for this guy, because this one is not set, apparently. Why? Let's find out. Or maybe... no, it's set correctly. Let's see. So this is fire. And this is fire lightning, so it should go in here. But it does not. I have a typo in there. Fire lightning. That's the problem. And now we should be fine. It should create... still problematic. Again, didn't find it. So this fire lightning, but somehow did not go through. So fire, it's lighting instead of lightning. Didn't I just exchange it? What happened? Is it on two places? Yes. Okay, now it should be fine. There we go. So we can now create ARP-links on the disk. So that means I can now get rid of the dummies here, which clutter up this place. Alright. Which means if I press play now, they're there. We should add a summoner. Does it work? Yes. Alright. So one part is now done. Which means if I now also exchange the images here, these images, funny enough, we don't have the summoner, but it still was able to create because I didn't change it as a thingy. We should add Mira's face as a summoner. How does that work? Player, Mira. Where is her face? Here, portrait. Should be fine. Okay. Now this needs to be player. Be right back, monkey. Alrighty, monkey's back. And now call the summoner. This needs to be player. Summoner is fine. And now this should has mirror as a thumbnail. Hahaha! Amazing. Now, wait, if I change the angle, still works. This is amazing. Alright, let's continue. Now, this thing needs to turn. This thing needs to turn. How do we do that? You have to initialize, that's fine. We don't need these. We just go into disk, yes. Maybe we should clean up here though, because this is now correct code. I'm not sure if this is clean because it is a lot of one line nodes here. And a lot of these things go through, so it's a little confusing, but that's fine, I guess. These need to disappear. Part of the code, part of the crew. Okay. This goes like that. Nails. Competitor info instance get. Good. Now let's clean up here. Okay. Yep. Something is missing here. Well, where's water earth? Water air. No. Should have been water earth here. Where's this water air? Oh, wait. Never mind. This is air. No, this is water. There we go. This air, so that's fine now. Initialize UI competitor also needs to grab the front setting and then turn everything to the correct position. So right now, I feel like we should add another scene component under the disk. So we just need to turn that instead, like some kind of rotator. Maybe even two, so I don't need to think about the z-axis for this thing when we flip. Alright, so it's scene component, this is flip rotator, and then we add another one on top. Scene component, spin rotator, like this, and then we grab everything and put it on top. Good. Now if we flip this x-axis, whoops, like that, does the flipping, which means if we spin this 120 degrees and then flip it, it still has the correct axis. So let's think. If we are at flipping 0 and rotation, spin rotation 0, we are at fire. 120 degrees is earth and 240 degrees is water. And then we get back to 360, which should turn into 0 again. So we need, like, again, some kind of logic for the rotator to be able to pass these things. I wonder if I already used some Unreal Engine functionality for this, or if I need to write my own in order to not get into the problem, which would be this, if you just rotate and rotate and rotate. But no, this will not happen because the rotation will be a fixed number. The problem would be the code would not know which the shortest rotation is, right? So I guess I need to write my own code for this. There's no sugarcoating this, I think. When we flip, 0 means lightning, but now if we say 120, it is not crystal anymore, correct? Yes, it is crystal. Interesting. It rotates the... What? That's not what I expected. Because if this is Earth by 120 here, why all of a sudden my brain cannot comprehend this? I mean, it might make sense, right? But I expected if I flip, this side would go there this time. Seems like it changes the clockwise. So if I go positive, it's counterclockwise right now. Ah, of course, the orientation also changes for this. And clockwise, now it's clockwise. Okay. I see. Which is good, because then we have consistent numbers for the elements. Defense is always 120, harassment and support is 240, and so on. Now the rotation part is a little more complicated if we cannot just use the rotator and give it some kind of target to go to. The shortest path. There is a lerp here. Sadly, it doesn't happen the same here. Can we do this with time? I guess we can. Maybe that would solve our problem. I think we need to use this, but how do I change this into delta time? Seems to work, but these need to be attached to their slots. They are not. Okay. Or snap to target. Both would work. That doesn't work. Well, the question is this always the shortest rotation? Let's say I want to go to 240 and we are at 10. Or 0, it's fine. So if it just does a 120 turn, so only one element, then we are golden. Seems like it just turned one element. If I say 120, needs to go the other way. So the nearest is, it works, that's for sure. So now we need to tell this thing wait, I am interpolating. Should I actually go and do a linear kind of turn instead? Like, we can change it here by just using this with speed. Right, here, 1 speed. Doing this should be linear now. No, it's not linear. How do we do a linear one? Maybe constant wouldn't be even good. Maybe I just increase speed and then just make it chained again. This is speed. If I say 100, this is extremely fast now. What if we say this is 50 instead? Hmm, 25 maybe. Maybe I don't even need to chain. A bigger number, please. Let's try 10. Oops. is nice. Okay. Let's keep that. Now we just need to set the target by something outside. Change rotation with we should call this change spin. With the angle, and then we need to change flip which is this thing. No, spin as target, spin rotation. And then we can copy paste this with target, flip rotation. And then we need a function with change to elements. And then this can be the front element. I believe we need this. Initialize. No, it's called fronts instead. Here. Switch. And then we just need to do this and this. So the flip for everything would be 0 on these three. Let's do that. Copy paste. And then wait. Fire, water. Which was water for, again? 240. Yes. So 240 and 120. And then just I couldn't mute, sorry. So this should do the rotation. And we just need to go and ask for this. Don't need this anymore. But we do need one more thing here. This is later. We just need the same here. The flip. And then set flip rotation. Should do it. Boom, okay. So now from outside we need to tell this thing to rotate. Okay, this is not it. This is it. One delay of 3 seconds. Element change to from fire. We go to water. Then we wait 3 seconds and go to earth. Then we go to air, lightning. No, let's go to crystal and then to fire and then repeat everything like so. Let's see. I mean, the rotation will not happen like that, so let's change it. Fire, water, earth. No, this needs to be crystal. Crystal, air. Air to water. And from water to fire. No, let's go to lightning actually, and then this can be fire. So, and then this would be a more reasonable way to change. Now, which means when we flip actually, we need to make the thumbnails that are in these hole slots also go to the other side. Now this is a little bit more complicated. Essentially, we need to get fire, lightning, water, air, and earth, crystal. Depending on where they are, they need to follow a location. Did we have a position alert? In the near past? I don't remember. Set relative location. Is that correct? It is interp. Constant, no, like this, and then speed is 10. This. Do that. We also need summoner if you find it. How do we know that we flipped? The rotation for the initial thing needs to happen too, which is not happening yet, which is fine for now. It's always something we can do later. So just to test. How this would work. Oh, we also need the summoner slot bottom. For dark side. Summoner slot dark. Just minus. Let's see how this goes. Okay, that's not good. Why did this not work? Try this, even though... Okay, where do we fail here? Not here, Why do we have to random turn still? Ah, that's fine. Okay. So what happens here then? This is thumbnail. Getting to lightning slot if dark is true. Let's see why this thing doesn't work. Why is this not filled? This is not good. Why is it over there? Should I get the world location instead? Makes no sense. We have the relative. Oh, because it is attached. Oh my god, okay. This is way more complicated than I thought. Which means I need to have like another scene component or something that has the correct relative location for both, so they can be in the same dimension, so to speak, in the same scope. How do I do that? If I had something there and attach it there, it would only have the Z components, and then we can just go up and down. So right now, since we are in the light side, this should be... If dark side is false, this should go to 0. Without the x and y, that is. But that's zeroed anyway. And here it should be minus 60, I believe. Yeah, like that. So we cannot even use that slot. We need to get the offset. So it needs to be called, which maybe helps us even, fire lightning, for instance. And then have it zeroed in the z-axis. Which actually helps us here now, because then we can call this fire lightning instead and get rid of this one, and then we can get rid of this thingy. Or no, not quite. This we still need, so we can get rid of this instead, and then yeah, okay, we need to do that. Let's rename everything and delete anything we don't need. First fire. Fire lightning. That means lightning needs to go now. Then water, air. Air needs to go. And earth crystal. Crystal needs to go. This can remove. Remove. So fire, lightning. Water, air, and earth crystal. Like that. And these need to be zeroed now. Fire, fire, fire. 0. Water, air, 0. And earth crystal 0. Then attach is correct, which we can now go from the same thing actually. Just need this. Don't need this anymore. Okay. This can go. So do we first attach? Really doesn't matter that much. Let's first attach. Don't need this. First attach. Like this, and then depending on where we are, it needs to be 30. or minus 30. Like this. And now here this needs to be minus 30 versus 30. Right? Nice. Works. What's with Summoner though? Let's hear the problem, kind of. Should we add another array or map for whole slots here? And that string 2. What did we call this? Static mesh components. Like that. So if they're well, wait, that will always find now, which goes in here instead of here. Okay. It's kind of problematic here. Okay, I forgot why I was doing this. Ah, it was because of the whole thing. Because of this, okay, yeah. Whoop. Okay, whatever. Just those far anyway. Oop. Don't even need this. Okay. Problem. What happens? Feels like the attach didn't work, but even this doesn't work. Does it mean we did not end up here? I would assume we never end up. Oh, parent is missing. That's funny. There we go. Summoner still has a problem. Because Summoner is on 30. There we go. And now it should be fine. Maybe it's turning a little too fast. Maybe a little too fast. Spin, flip, speed. Let's say 5. Okay. Oh, hello, little doctor. Thanks for the raid. Hello, hello. I am Monkey. How are you guys doing? What am I working on? Currently I'm reworking the battle system I built, and what you can see here is a UI element, which is a 3D static mesh in the world, which only gets rendered by a scene capture camera and then projected onto the UI layer. The idea is to show which formation you are currently selecting and what the enemy is doing. Right now, today I was implementing how the little guys are getting created by some kind of information I can initialize them with, and the rotation functionality, as you can see here. Now I'm just looking if the speed is fine. But hello, how are you doing? I believe you are a dev too. Were you working on a game currently? or the last stream. This stream. What are you doing? All right. Yeah, you can like think of it like how to explain, turn-based RPG where you can change the formation to an element and then your Orplings will fight. And depending on what element you turn, they do different attacks. Oh, Gnome, oh, I cannot say the word. Gnomable. Hello, thanks for the raid. Hello, hello. Hello, raiders. Incremental pachinko game. What does incremental mean by in that manner? Not a roguelike, right? Is it a roguelike if it's incremental? It's not an auto battler, no. It's turn-based. If it's your turn, you decide on a formation and then you accept and then things happen and then you turn your disc again. Hey, oh my god, your name! Gnomable! I'm good, how are you? I was just doing this thing. This is my disc with my formations for my battle. And depending on what you do, it just shows you the things. Ah, okay. So kinda like... I never played Balatro, but there's also that slot machine game where you upgrade your stuff and then just go further. But Balatro is a roguelike. So I think I understand. You're not a roguelike, but you do upgrade your stuff to get more money. Gnomable? Really? You don't say the G? But don't you say gnome? Why is your G silent? More like cookie clicker. Ah, I see. Oh, thank you. My old system looked like this. Let me show you guys. So right now I'm currently reworking my battle system. And that's the UI part. I also did other things, but my old system looks like this. Wait, I need to go to main. We can save, that's fine. My old system looks like this. I just need to go to a battle real quick. Sadly, I didn't add any more monsters to my formation, so I can not show everything. But you will get the idea. So there is a little guy that we can fight. And then this was my old system. You can see the disc. In this standard battle, they don't have a formation. But I can, now we are on fire formation, I can go to water, earth, I can go to the other side, which is the dark side, the lightning, air and crystal. When I'm on the fire side, I have fire offensive magic. If I go to the crystal, I have defensive magic. So if I stayed in fire, this guy would be faster at this point and damage us pretty badly. So instead I can just switch to crystal and then just tank it with this guy. And then this guy makes some kind of shield in front of us, like here. And then when I go to fire, I can damage him, but he can't damage us because the shield is in front of us. So the idea is to make a formation. Always 3 Orplings are in front. These corner ones are also in front. And then depending on what element you spin to, your Orplings have different attacks. And then you try to make your formation with synergies and try to explore the world to get more attacks that you can train your Orplings with, and so on. So that's the gist of my game. You just explore, you make your formation, and then you just grow. And currently, like I said, I'm making this new system or an improvement. Yeah, the battle background is from the intro sequence. I will change that. But my game world is a digital world, which is in your PC. So you see that kind of digital look at the start where you get to this world. And I think it was here. So this is the main thing I'm doing right now, which is this part where my system now looks a little better. But this is not finished. I need to do a lot of things, and currently I'm building the UI, which will be in here. Before the UI, I was making the camera system, as you can see here, that flies around, and if I accept the rounds, you can see that the camera flies around, etc., depending on what kind of attack happens. This still needs sound, etc., but just one step after the other, right? This was last week. But now we are in UI. But Gnomable, how was your stream? What did you do? Let's go back to here. So I think the rotation and so on is good. I just implemented the way that these little guys with holes can flip through when we flip the disc. So I think this works. Let's add more Orplings to actually see. Where's my test level? Let's spam more things here. Like this. So it was good. I remade a UI element in my game which ironed out a couple bugs I was having. Hey, I'm also remaking a UI, so we are in the same boat here, I guess. What kind of bugs though? Fire, lightning, water, earth. What else should we add? Summer's fine. Fire, water. Then water, air. I think we have water, earth already. So we need actually earth crystal. And then No, earth crystal, earth fire. Now the bottom corners. Lightning, air, I assume. Air crystal and one more, which is crystal lightning. Okay. Now we have that. This means we now add these in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. The path preview I was using was 2D, which stretched weird in some situations, so I switched to 3D. Ah, okay. Yeah, I feel like many things in 2D are problematic sometimes. Like all my old UI feels so lifeless. I also think maybe I should go 3D for everything, but I'm not sure. Right now I have a hybrid solution to at least the discs, because yeah, you cannot animate that in 2D. There's no way. So I'm rather glad that my orthographic scene capture works pretty well. I have to catch one of your streams, man. I always am very tight on time, so I never have time to watch other dev streams, sadly. And when I have time, people tend to not stream anymore. It's rather sad. I was lucky to sometimes catch scenes dev streams, but other than that, I never find the chance. Alright, so this would make everything now full, I assume. Perfect. Oh, this is not good. We need to change that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is tomati. 1, 2, 3. Tomati, and that's fine. Alright. Let's see. Why is this still player? And we are missing here the air lightning, or lightning air is failing. Why? Lightning air. Tomati, why is this not tomati? This is lightning air. Did I write it wrong? I did write it wrong. Lightning air. Wait, did I? Looks fine to me. I've been inconsistent streaming recently, so it's fine. I did post on social media for the first time in forever. What social media do you use? I for once, I only use Twitch for streaming. I use YouTube to archive my streams, and then I post every week on X, but yeah, there's like no traction at all. So there are some errors here. Entity has no element for disk. That's funny. Do I have some kind of typo? Probably. So we end up here because local slot cannot find it because lighting air is not lightning air. Alright, now it should work. There we go. So now when this flips, the other guys go up, which means if I look down, only these guys are here because these go through the hole. Nice. Maybe it's a little too fast to go through. Maybe I should change that so you can actually see that it goes through the hole. I scatter shot on X. Blue Sky. Blue Sky I also use. Instagram I never use. Facebook? Is Facebook even relevant anymore? Damn. I didn't use Facebook for almost 10 years now, I think. It was 2018 where I deleted my account. How is Facebook nowadays? We don't need this anymore. What did I want to do? The speed. Yeah, let's make a different speed here. 5 was the speed. Let's say 1 here instead. Current. Uh-oh, we deleted something we needed. Oh. Hold on. You're doing something extremely wrong here. No, we don't. We don't need a current. No, we do need a current. Oh my god, this is calculating it extremely wrong. I see. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. So this guy needs to die. Also these. This one too. Okay, let's see if it's now a little better. Flip please. It kinda, I can see it now. Should I make it slower? Or is this actually fine? I can't tell, it's so hard to see. I like Instagram, I never had any views on Facebook until just recently. A post got like 100 views, mostly definitely not worth it. Yeah, I would have guessed. Like, I think Facebook is phasing out at some point, right? It has the, how to say, the image of only old people use it, and why would a fresh person go there anymore, right? So, for grabbing attention of potential players, it's probably only good for simulators, maybe? Or games that dads would play. Like old dads, that is. But I don't know. In the end, just scatter everywhere, right? Can't hurt. I'm indecisive. Should I make this slower? Or is the snappiness actually what we want? Because I want to press many directions, like turn, turn, and then flip, turn, flip, flip, and then it should just turn, turn, you know? I feel like. I guess we have to add the controls. We can do dummy controls here actually. Test here, and then we can get this Q. No, I want to rotate and then flip. So I just need 3 keys. This is rotation, this is rotation, and this is the flip. Thank you. Have a good one. Thanks for the raid, man. Bye bye. Where is my disc? Guess we just take this and then competitor to cats. And then elements. Change to elements. Now, do we have a current element? No, right? No, we don't. Do I need to memorize? Maybe I should add like clockwise, counterclockwise, and flip into the mix. Maybe change to element is only good for the NPC, and for us it's different. But I already have a flip. Input spin, and then if true, counterclockwise. And then input flip. And this just takes this and then flips it. Change flip. Change to elements. You could look from the element instead. Either that or we do this. This would be easier. Input flip. So if we are dark side, flip. If we are currently dark side, we want to go to here or to here. So flip we can now test already. That would be S. So if I now press S, it should flip. Perfect. It would be cooler if this just flipped like this, right? Always in one direction, but that's just polishing in that at that point. Now let's spin this. For that, how do we do this? Do we check what element we are? Current element. Something like that, I don't know. That doesn't work, does it now? Maybe it does work. Wait. Maybe we also need to set the correct rotation of the disk at this point, but that's later. So spin, input spin, if, and then get this, switch. And then we can just set a rotation here. So we need to change. So if we are fire and we are counterclockwise, we end up as is counterclockwise the direction it turns or the direction we want to go? I would say turn. It's actually fine. So if this spins like this, this is fire and here's water. So water will be now here. Fire. From water we turn to earth. From earth we turn to fire. And then same thing, just with air, crystal, and lightning, I would say. Which means do I just use this instead? Maybe that's the way to go. Which means this also needs to... Maybe we should use this instead, even though this is very, very fast. But this also sets the correct thing. Also for the flip, so I don't have to do everything again. switch. We don't even need this then. Just need this. Fire becomes lightning. Water becomes air. Earth becomes crystal and vice versa. There we go. Fire, water, earth. So my flip should still work. Good. Spin. Instead of this, just go with this. So, water, earth, fire, air, crystal, and lightning. Now, same thing here, but instead from fire to water, we need to go from fire to earth. Fire to earth, water to fire, and earth to water, right? Water, earth, fire, water, earth, fire. Okay, then this is crystal, this is lightning, and this is air. Alrighty. Like so. And now if we go here, input spin. If I press A, I want to turn counterclockwise, I think. Alright, let's see. So if I press D, this needs to be clockwise. Nice. And we can flip. Ah, and then it flips the other way though. So clockwise, not clockwise. Need to switch that up. So for this, it needs to turn the other way. So instead of lightning air, it needs to be crystal. Air, crystal, lightning. Crystal, lightning, air. Same thing here, I would believe. Lightning, crystal, air. Air, lightning, crystal. Crystal, air, lightning. Okay, so this still works. I don't like that it goes to the other side. But shortest Yeah, this is for sure something to polish, because I just want this to spin if I spam. Although if you spam too much, I also don't want it to spin a lot of times, right? Oh well, let's spin. I really need to find a way to get a better way to do this. But I think our input is there now. You can also look on the other side here. All right. Now the only thing that's left is currently, this is fine, this thing fires without stopping. We need to check if it needs to do something still. Even these, like, how do we make sure they all reach their things? And then this needs to be refreshed here actually. How can we stop this, and then even an array of things here? How do we do that? Let's think. Now this one is easy. We can say if the relative rotation is pretty close to this one, then we can set some kind of bool and say it's fine. But I would like to check both and then set it. I don't want to have two bools maybe, but I guess it's fine. Now this is a different thing though. How can I... This would need like some kind of registry if I wanted to do it efficiently, but it's not necessary. What I need to do is a local variable that checks, hey, is it close? No, then stay false or something. And if it turns true, we need to stop this. So this needs to be a function. Alright, that's part one. This needs to be stopped too, right? If reached. Or actually, if every movement is done, this can be stopped too. And that's the way to do it. So if we have any input for change elements, here we need to set a bool to false. Or something like that. Or maybe true actually. Like activate movement and then it's here that enables everything. And then if this is true and this is true and this is true, that thing needs to stop. But what if a rotation is already done, but this one isn't done? Do I want to skip this and then go to that? I mean, we already have the checker to skip it, so it's fine. The only thing that maybe is stupid for me is that we just check this and this to get to this, but it's just 2 checks. That's nothing. All right, so error margin 0.1. If false, go here. Movement active. If true, go here. Then we need some kind of do once for this thing. Could even put this into a function and just change this scene component. Now the question is, how do we proceed? So we definitely need something to make this do once. Okay, so we go here. If false, we go here. If true, so reached false. If true. How do I set this? Set by reference reach true. Don't need this. And then we just need this thing. No. No. Does it matter? Let's just activate everything, whatever. Just goes into it once. Now the thumbnails in the other hand. We also need that here. Good. So that's so let's make it like this then. Wait, if it's true, then go in. Also that, else this, and we need this too, which is then the target. This thing. Okay. How do we stop the movement? if this is false, if this is false, and this is false, then this becomes false. So how do we do this though? With a local, I guess.
Do I need this? Yes, because we need to turn it off every time we start here. We could have made this false at the start and then just turn it on here. That would eliminate the local here, but I think this is better to read. So the only inefficiency here is that this goes through everything, even though not everything needs to move. But that's fine, I think.
All right. If spin is active, needs to be an OR. If any of these are active, then movement is active. Alright, let's check it out. Does this still work? Seems to be. Let's go to disk 2. No, which disk is this? 3? Yes. So movement is still active. Ah. Whoops. Of course. Alright. How's this? Good, it stops. Nice. I mean, we don't know which one happens, but... It's always true right now. Oh, the flipping doesn't happen. Why is the flipping not happening? Flip rotation. Oh. Whoops. This should do it. There we go. Looking good. All right, we're done here. That was the week. Next time will be on Sunday again. Now the question is what I will do next week. We still need indicators. So probably it's more like polishing the look of this. Getting some indicators in there and then trying to integrate this into my other prototype, like properly initializing it in the battle system instead of in this test level. But now this thing seems to be working fine. We just need to put this into our input router so we can actually translate any input into the correct action. But I think this is nice. So we go here and press enter and then the Orblings would fly where they should and then do the earth stuff, and then we are like, no, we go to fire and then lightning, whatever. That's how it is. Alrighty, I'm not sure if anyone is still here, but Phil, Scene, Nomable, Little Doctor, thanks for tuning in and for the raids. All the raiders, thanks for watching. Let's see, can we raid anyone? Are there any Unreal? There's only one. There's one with only one viewer. Maybe let's say hi to this guy. Not sure what he's doing. Okay. Let's get the name of this guy. Oh, he's actually in Unreal 4. Oh well. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye, monkey!